Hello to all you guys out there in YouTube land. Yes, it's me, DR, and I'm wearing my race skin top. This was the charity top. All the proceeds for these tops went to the NHS. I'm obviously wearing this because I think I picked this up in April of 2020, and I thought it was apt to wear this. It's a bit tight on me. It's a bit skin tight, so I don't tend to wear it out. I get a bit self-conscious. I know it sounds really weird as a guy getting self-conscious wearing a top, but this is a bit... It's more of a bike top, but hey, it shows all me jiggly bits. But it's a nice top, and the proceeds all went for a great cause. This is a series of videos talking about my running journey through 2020 and especially about the month of April. And the theme of this month was really 1 mile too short. It was really frustrating when I look back at where it was. It could have been my first 150 mile month, but it was actually a 149 mile month. I know it sounds really arbitrary. I know it sounds really silly. It's arbitrary to worry about 1 mile, but it's one that grates on me when I look at the performance I did over 2020. It's one that I always thought maybe I should have got that extra mile and gone out there. I think while you're in the moment, you don't really worry about it. And to be honest, it's not that big a thing. But as a runner, it's like rounding your runs up to equal distances. You know, you're at 4.92 miles, you need to do 0.8 miles to get up to 5. You got to, and you run around the car park or run around your house or run out and up and down the street to get to that distance. Looking at the months, staying about the 30 mile per week distance. I mean, some of the weeks are about 40, so I'm getting into those higher mileage numbers. The last 3 weeks of April, they're around about the 40 mile mark. So I'm getting to the high mileage for me. Personally, never really touched 40 miles on a regular basis, and now I'm hitting it quite regularly. I tend to have one rest day in the week, and I'm going out and I'm doing my regular kind of 5 mile routes. And then the long runs happening, obviously on a Saturday, with a supportive run on the Sunday, just to keep the legs turning. All of the mileage is very, very relaxed. So at this stage, there's no kind of tempo runs. I'm not putting any harder work in, no intervals, just building that strong base, going out just nice and easily, enjoying it. It's really quite interesting looking at all the mileage I've done and how much fun I had doing it. I know some people say, oh, running, it's not fun. And I was one of those people. Up to this point, I stressed about the distance and how difficult it felt. But actually, it surprised me how comfortable it felt at the time and how I was able to just kind of go through the mileage, just doing things at a nice relaxed pace and just enjoying each run. I've got 1 half marathon distance covered within April. So I'm not doing regular half marathons. I'm still doing double digits in terms of those long runs. I'm still doing 10 mile runs. And I think in April, when I'm looking at all my Garmin data, one of the things that really held true is that my average heart rate for the runs are coming down. So in March, my average heart rate was 145. So on my runs, all of those runs, the average heart rate during all those runs was 145. Now coming into April, I'm at 142. So it's starting to drop. It's really about just building it, eking out those miles, and I'm enjoying it. I'm just eking out the miles, and it's just fun. It's just going out there, building that consistency, getting that time on feet, and just really building that base. And that's something that has been lacking in my endurance running. Something that I identified quite earlier on was a bit of a weakness. I had some speed in my legs. I've always had speed when I was younger. I was a sprinter, so I've always had some fast twitch muscles. But one of the things that was always lacking was that endurance, that base to carry on. I'd get quite lactate quite early, heavy legs. I wouldn't be able to sustain the pace of running for the time I wanted to. April's really about building that base, building that foundation, so that I'm able to carry that speed through, carry that speed on. I think that's something that was really rang true in April, and I'm very much in April moving away from Maffetone, moving away from math training to fully Lydiard methodology and embracing the Arthur Lydiard method. Something else that's happened in April is my average pace is starting to drop. So where my average pace in March was about 11:45, my average pace now in April is 11. So my heart rate's dropping, so the effort level I'm putting in, but I'm also getting faster as well. It's great to see it in raw numbers. It's great to look back and go, actually, what I was doing was working. The bitter pill to swallow, though, was all the stuff I was doing beforehand, all that fast, harder work, going out, pushing it, really wasn't giving me the base and foundation I needed for endurance running. So it was a bitter pill to swallow, but it's actually, I'm glad I learned it at this precise moment. It meant that the journey that I'm on is actually something that I've enjoyed and has actually started to reap benefits. So it's really good that I learned it in April, but sometimes I look back and I think, how did it take me so long really to grasp some of the basic principles of endurance running? I don't know, it just happens that way, I think, sometimes. That was my April in a nutshell. If you have any comments, put them in the doobly-doo. Any questions you have for me, put them down there as well. I'm happy to answer them. And this is DR saying, guys, please just get out there, get some miles in, get some easy, nice conversational pace running in. Enjoy getting outside as much as you can, and have a safe journey wherever you're heading.